loves, it's Haley Reese, and today's story is going to be another one in the airport horror story chronicles because after I posted my accused of being an escort at the airport video, so many of you were like, if you have more crazy stories, we want to hear them. So here I am. This story time actually isn't from that long ago. I want to say maybe like a year or so ago. So it's pretty recent, and it was honestly a pretty intimidating, frightening circumstance. So my mom and I were heading on a vacation, and it was once again like a very, very, very early flight, much like in my last story time. Maybe this is like a sign for people if you don't want to have issues with customs and border control, go later in the day once they've had like a few cups of coffee in them. Maybe they'll be a little bit more friendly towards you. But we were waiting in the line to go to the customs, and we're standing in the line, and the one guy looks really, really, really grumpy. And we were like, we really hope we don't get that guy like poking fun. We did, of course, because once you put that out there, the opposite has to happen. And so we get up to this guy, and he's really, really grumpy. So he asks us where we're going, we answer, he doesn't even reply back. He asks us a series of questions, and then all of a sudden he says, "And what's your relation?" And my mom says, "She's my daughter." Now my mom has the bubbliest, most beautiful, outgoing personality. It doesn't matter if it's 6 in the morning, she's perky, she's going. And so she's all excited as she tells him, "This is my daughter." And he, in the most serious face and serious tone, goes, "Prove it." And my mom thinks that he's making some sort of like joke of some sorts. So she's laughing and she's like, "How would you like me to prove it?" And he goes, "Prove it." And my mom, this really, really annoyed him, goes, "We look alike." And he goes, "Not good enough. Do you have her birth certificate?" And my mom's like, yeah, I do." So she reaches into her wallet and she pulls out my birth certificate and she hands it to him. And he looks at it and he goes, "Where on here does it say that you're her mother?" And my mom's like, "I was married when I had her, so it didn't put on there like the name of the parents." And he's like looking at us like this is some sort of like suspicious trigger. And my mom's like still kind of like thinking that it's a joke, but not really thinking it's a joke. She just doesn't understand like why he's asking these questions. Now, for those of you who might not travel a lot, typically if you're under the age of 16 and you're traveling with an adult, they need to either have a letter from your parents or they need to have like proof that you're their child. They need to be able to prove that you're able to be traveling outside of the country with them. But I wasn't under 16, I was like 19, 20. So this is why my mom's thinking that this is some sort of a joke, prank, because I mean, really, there was no reason that he should be needing us to prove that we're mother and daughter, because ultimately at 19, 20, you can travel on your own anyways. So I really didn't need to be traveling with her. I didn't need her to get me through the border. So as he's looking at the birth certificate, he hands it back to her and he starts to say, "Well, if you can't prove that she's your daughter, I can't let you in." And my mom's like, "But I don't understand. She's over the age of 18. She's a legal adult and we're just trying to travel." At this point, he has like completely stopped talking to us and he's like pulling out this yellow folder, which if you get the yellow folder, that means you're going to interrogation. That means that you're not going through and off to your gate. That means that they're suspicious of something and you're about to be questioned and searched. But at this point in time, I had never been pulled into that room before, so we didn't know what that dreadful yellow envelope meant or folder meant. Now I know. So he puts all of our stuff into this little like yellow folder and hands it to us and says we need to go to that examination room. Well, at this point, I suffer from anxiety and I'm freaking out. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, what do they think we're doing? Like, what does he think? And my mom's like, "I don't know, but that was so weird." Like, he's literally like questioning if we're related, sending us to another room, but legally I don't need to have her to travel. I'm an adult. So we get into the second room and it took so long for them to call us up. Literally, there were so many people in there. You're not allowed to use your cell phone. If they see you use your cell phone, they consider it like suspicious behavior and they can confiscate your cell phone or like interrogate you even further. And you're not really allowed to talk. So we're just sitting there uncomfortably, and I just keep looking at the time like, we're gonna miss our flight, we're gonna miss our flight. And at the same time, I'm like, but like, why am I in here? What do they think I've done? Like, what is happening? So finally the guy points to me and calls me over, and basically how this room was set up is it's like a big room with like waiting room chairs, and then kind of like the chairs at the gate. And then there's like a bunch of different little kiosks, and they have like a computer, and like, I don't really know how to explain it other than like that table type thing that they have at the vets. Like it's like a silver like long table, and you have to put your carry-on luggage up there, and then they like interrogate you. So he calls me over, and I said, just me or her too? And he's like, just you. And I was like, okay. And I get up to him, and he was actually really nice. And he's like, may I ask why you asked if she should come too? And I said, well, she's my mom. And he's like questioning, he's like, whoa, 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 she's your mom? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, so what was the issue here? And I said, apparently she had to prove to him that I'm her daughter. And the guy literally goes, what did he want, a DNA test? And I said, exactly, like, I don't know what he wanted from us. And the guy's looking at me like, okay, well, I don't know why you're here now. So I don't know what he put in the folder as like his suspicion, but the guy couldn't understand why we were even in there. So as protocol, they have to look through your bag. So I put my bag up on the thing, he searches through it. My mom puts her bag up on the thing, he searches through it. And he basically says, I am so sorry for the inconvenience, like, go ahead and catch your flight. And my mom goes, we missed our flight. And he's like, you're kidding me. My mom's like, no. And he's like, go to the Air Canada kiosk once you get through, and they'll book you on a new flight. So we ended up on a new flight. One thing that really sucked was we had a straight flight there to begin with, and the only one that they could get us on in like a timely manner was a stopover. But regardless, we ended up on our vacation. It was an amazing vacation, and that was the end of that ordeal. Now to this day, I don't know what this guy thought he was proving, or what he thought he was cracking, or what kind of code he was trying to follow by or abide by. The entire situation was so weird. I really don't know what to make of it, but it just adds to my big collection of crazy ass airport story times. Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you've had any sort of an experience like this, go ahead and leave a comment down below letting me know what happened to you, because I don't know if I look like a suspicious person, but these crazy things are always happening to me when I travel, and I just don't understand it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date when I post, and give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it if you do. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until next time, love you.